Oh, hiya, David.
Hey,
How's it been going? Busy day? Busy.
um, not especially,
How,
but
how many meetings have you been going to?
uh, in general, I average about four a week. This week was not much of an exception. Went to one yesterday, one the day before. That's kind of about it. Oh, one on Sunday, but all right.
You got a new subscription to Cast, did you?
Uh,
Or have you
looks
found an
like
alternative system?
yeah, looks like Cass gave up the ghost. That's what happened. Cast is no more. Cast is ceased to be. Cast has joined the choir invisible. Cast is bereft of life.
All right. Okay. All right. So yeah, you haven't advertised Cast as for your little short movie tomorrow.
Um,
So
there's
what?
there I'm gonna try another one. Yeah, well, things come and go. So R.I.P. Cast. I'll try another one.
So you mean quite literally that Cast has gone down? That's the end of it as a
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, it looked like they didn't find anybody who wanted to sponsor them, pay for them. So they gave up. And I
It's
didn't.
sort of an economic syndrome that you're slowly seeing what you'd call is an increasing shortage of money.
Yeah.
You tend to notice things in the banking, like, they drop uh, the amount of time I have to pay, say, my MasterCard. Went from 55 days to 45 days. So that tends to indicate that there is a lack of money on the market, comparatively speaking.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it's a lot of that happening.
It tends to mean that a lot of stuff will a lot of businesses will start to tend to close down, not able to keeping up with the costs or payments.
Mhm. No.
Well, okay, so it was Barbarella number one. I think the color one was number two, was it?
Well, you see that?
Yep.
So I'll get it wrong, but anyway, it's when you put when you put the JPEGs, when I put the JPEGs together in the CBR, see, I had it all named like you're seeing. So it's capital B Barbarella, but some of them are underscore and some of them are hyphen. Now, for me on my Ubuntu Linux Ubuntu computer, it has a hyphen as coming before an underscore. So I looked the way it looked for me in the CBR, the order of the JPEGs. But when you open up the CBR on your Windows machine, Windows reads an underscore as coming before a hyphen, and that's what caused the problem. That's why you got them out of order from the way I put them in there. That was the difficulty.
Oh, rightio. Do you have a corrected version?
No. Well, no, I'd have well, yeah, I'd have to rename
Ah,
the JPEGs in order to put it in a way that, and I didn't know that that was the difference between Linux and Windows. And that's why you got them out of order, even though they were in order when I open it. That's what caused the problem. Capital
seems to be
B
a
A
bit of
R B A
stuff
R.
in YouTube about some of the laptop computer producers want to move away from Windows.
Well,
Have you seen anything about that? Like
well,
what is it? Lovo, that's the South Korean one, was thinking about uh, yeah, selling their machines with some Linux derived program as the operating system.
hmm,
So for some reason, this was a few companies I think who were thinking of this. They're becoming unhappy with Windows.
well,
I don't know what the issue is. When Windows 11 seemed to be a bit of a shock that they obsoleted, older machines with the Windows 11.
yeah.
I think I was told a desktop could have a lifespan of about 10 years and a laptop has a lifespan of about 5 years.
I think I've had the desktop I'm on right now for about 12 years.
Oh, well, you can go longer. It just tends to be usually it's the desktop becomes a bit obsolete after about 10 years.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to start a new one these days. Eventually, I'm going to have to, but I hope not for a while. Not looking forward to it.
Just trying to think I'm using the desktop again, so I bought a machine back in 23.
Sure.
I was using a laptop for a number of years, and
Well,
uh, I think overall, yeah, probably the desktop experience is better.
yeah. Well, I find it impossible to do any real work on anything else except a mouse and a keyboard and a monitor. That's the best way to do actual work. If I'm just going to watch YouTube, okay, sure. Then I just
Oh, yeah,
in
the
bed.
laptop worked well enough for Zoom sessions, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, even with Zoom, I like sharing things and I like uploading files and
Well, with a laptop, you've got a certain time limit because your battery might only last so long before it gets degraded. That'd probably be an advantage. I think I do have a friend who has a battery for his desktop in case the power cuts suddenly.
yeah. Well, there are, yeah, uninterruptible power sources you can buy.
Mm. Yeah, Lenovo. Uh, moving away from Windows.
But if you're buying off the shelf, I don't recommend that. I always recommend building your own, which I've always done. Eventually, when I eventually get a new desktop, I'll have to build my own the same way I always have. But
Yeah, I just went to a computer store and they're having financial year sale. I'm trying to think how much did I pay? 1,800 Aussie dollars, something like that. So that was about 1,200 US.
If you buy off the shelf, you're buying what the company could get away with, the cheapest components they put together.
Yeah. I just wasn't in the mood to build a system.
Right. It's always a trade-off, sure. It's always a trade-off. Time, money, expense, stress.
Yeah, well, I had a Lenovo I bought in 2017, and that had problems. For some reason, it was very difficult to get the battery to charge, and I was struggling with that for years. And then the whole thing died. I got my information off it prior. Then I got an Asus laptop, and the fan in that died, but I still had a few days left on the warranty. So I just took it back and they repaired it. And because they rebooted it worked better than it did at the start because it'd been a shelf machine. So they'd seen a bit of service beforehand. That one was relatively cheap. And yeah, now it's working apparently quite fine after the rebooting, after people have probably been mucking around with it on the shelf in the shop. So Lenovo is shifting away from making Windows the automatic default operating system on its consumer and professional laptops, with Linux, such as Ubuntu and Fedora, increasingly taking its place. The transition is designed to lower hardware costs, reduce software returns, and bypass stringent Windows 11 hardware requirements. The shift away from Windows is driven by several key factors and industry dynamics. Lenovo has moved to make Linux the default on a significant proportion of its consumer laptops, treating Windows as a paid upgrade instead of an automatic default to keep hardware costs down. Okay, so apparently that's in the works. It's becoming a key issue now. So, how many other computer systems are following following Lenovo's lead? Remember, as customer, you are slave.
Hmm.
I'm sure that's a thought that's occurred to you. That ultimately the customer will move from being the master to the slave. It sounds a bit Hegelian, doesn't it? He had the idea that dependency creates slavery. Other major PC manufacturers are expanding their Linux offerings, matching Lenovo's strategy to elevate Linux to a first-class citizen alongside Windows. This industry-wide shift is driven by a shared desire among manufacturers to offer cheaper hardware, capture the developer and AI markets, and provide alternatives to corporate clients hesitant about Windows 11 upgrades. While viral internet rumors exaggerate that companies completely ditching Windows or making Linux the default for 60% of all machines, the factual reality is a highly coordinated effort to break Microsoft's absolute monopoly over factory defaults. Dell, HP, Asus seem to be planning to follow suit. Oh, well, there's some news for you, David, that might interest you. First heard on my channel.
The
Which would mean one of the operators is going to have their particular Linux version, and I assume the other operators will follow that one, or the other hardware companies will follow one particular one, as they do with, say, Android. Who does Android? Is it Google? So all the other Android companies
mhm.
do Google. Okay, so this is the first Barbarella.
Right. This was the first one in the CBR when I open it on my system, but it wasn't first when you open it on your system. It's the one you should have read last time. That's why this.
Yeah, well, looking at the three of them, I think this one and the color one are preferable. The one that comes first